Well, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? All right, excellent. So, I want to go ahead and get started with our monthly meeting and just really go through some things. Do we have any guests in the house? They don't work here. Nice. Oh, okay, so we're going to keep this pretty standard and keep rolling along. So I'll turn it over to Mary Menondola. And Mary, if you'd like to come up, and then we'll just go person by person. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So let's see, one highlight and one challenge. So I'm going to use Mel for our highlight because, because he came through the youth program, he did a WEX here, and was then hired as a county temporary employee with the ERAP program. So I think that's just a really good example, as many of our department employees have been in the past, where we show employers in the area that we practice what we preach, and we do hire many people who were former participants in our program. And I think the challenge is a challenge and a highlight, because we've been doing a lot of internal monitoring and process checks and things, and have found some skill gaps. So we're doing a lot more group meetings with different staff in different positions, and going through what the process is and ironing out what do we want it to be moving forward, so that we're consistent in all the 4 job centers that we work out of. And I've gotten a really great sense of teamwork, or I feel a great sense of teamwork with our staff now, that we're looking at things and we're moving forward. And I've told everyone that my vision is that they will all stay here until they retire, so that we will not have any more staff turnover. That's about all that I have to say, and I have asked Jennifer Hayes, our business services coordinator, to come up and talk about what she does for our department.
Hello, everyone. So what I do is I go out in the communities and talk to employers about their wages or their difficulty hiring, or if they need additional training, or if they're expanding their business. So I cover all of Mojave and La Paz. Sarah and I just went to Colorado City on the plane. Then she tells me when we land, I'm scared of flying. So I took her on the small county plane, so yeah, and we go over the Colorado, the Grand Canyon twice, and get to see water from the sky. So the second time I was like, just sit in the front. I'll sit in the back. So we've been working with Mojave Community College doing apprenticeships and on-the-job trainings. So we're partnering up with them. So really involved in doing that right now, and going to a lot of chamber meetings and kicking that off in all of our 4 communities where the colleges are located. So hopefully we'll see more on-the-job trainings and more apprenticeships coming through. I'm doing a hiring event in Bullhead tomorrow for multiple employers at the MCC campus, and then in a couple of weeks we'll be going to La Paz doing a hiring event in Parker. So I've been doing a lot of traveling right now. So I feel like every week, like 2 out of 5 days, I'm not in the building. So just trying to help every employer who needs workers right now. And as we speak, I have a hiring event with 7 people showed up today in our big room. So hopefully we can get people jobs and get people going. So I try to include housing, so you'll be seeing more flyers from me for hiring events, because I know you guys need to do that as part of your job. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jen. Mary, if I could ask, I know we're going to have a bunch of new DES people joining us. Could you step forward and give us an update on that? Please.
We don't have the actual final schedule or plan yet, but DES has approached Michael and I about co-locating in Kingman so that we would have in our job center employment services staff, which is the Wagner Pizer funded, and their job scope is pretty much the same as our job center technician. They're called employment specialist. And the TANF Jobs program, which is people who are receiving TANF who are not disabled, that's temporary assistance to needy families, are required to do volunteer work. So a lot of times we'll co-enroll, or in the past we have co-enrolled so that they're getting a WEX so that they're getting paid for some of the volunteer hours that they have to put in order to receive their TANF, and that we're helping them with documentation for that. And TANF Jobs also can provide supportive services. So in co-casing, it'll be great that I'm going to pay for the gasoline this week if you pay for the gasoline for job search next week, things like that. I think having them in this office will enable us to work together a lot more effectively. And then we have the Veteran Services. Scott Fischel is here periodically. And vocational rehabilitation, they are leasing space. Well, leasing is under the terms of our IFA. They're leasing space here. So, but they're still on a work from home mandate from DES. But as soon as they're able to, they're going to have more of a presence in our job center. And then also we anticipate that Wagner Pizer and TANF management will be coming in periodically to have a presence in our job center. So I think it'll be good, and I feel like it'll free up our job center techs to do more direct work with job seekers, because and also with our program staff, because they won't have to be doing job center backup. They won't have to maybe be doing some of the workshops, because I think our core partners could certainly do some of our 7 steps to work readiness workshops. So that's the update on that, and as soon as we have something finalized, we'll definitely let everybody know.
Thank you for that, Mary. Terry Bond, come on down. So we'll have our housing manager come down.
Oh, look, it's at my height. This is awesome. All righty. Housing. What? Nay. I heard you. Okay, for housing. I'm just going to update our programs. It's hard. It seems like all I say is everybody's really busy, but that's the truth. And hopefully maybe we can change that a little and get another helper in our department. So between Mike and me, we're working on justifying that, because it's really needed. I forgot to mention last time that we have a new person in our division, Jamie Bernier, who's doing our CDBG program, who's being trained by her predecessor, Mercedes Nielsen, and from what I understand, she's doing a great job. They are starting the CDBG, which is the Community Development Block Grant application process, and they're having their public hearing tomorrow, the 9th, here in Saguaro at 6 p.m., and they'll start their technical assistance, which is basically where you verify if we can help them or not. That's starting next week. They're doing some rehab and home projects. They have 5 in Kingman, 3 in Golden Valley, 1 in Dolan Springs, and a couple in LHC. So they're doing a lot of projects and working that. For FSS, Liz reports we have 35 enrolled and 5 are pending. I know I'm doing a lot of stats. But Liz is doing a great job in trying to get people interested in family self-sufficiency programs, so hopefully that they can actually end up buying a home. We've helped many tenants become homeowners over the last, 15 years or so. And that's always an incentive. For Nay and Kelly, they're still working on it. Eligibility enrollments for our MV, EHV programs, and they're also doing interviews for SHP. So we do have vacancies for supportive housing and for MV and EHV. VASH, we're always accepting referrals. We'll be full at KVV again by the end of the month. We've had a couple of the people there pass away and other people removed from the program for a variety of reasons. And in regular VASH, we're still taking referrals as well, and we're still doing eligibility interviews. We seem to always be doing eligibility interviews for VASH because there seems to be a lot of turnover. Other than that, we're just doing day by day. But we have a great attitude. So, does anybody have any questions? And Mainstream's still closed. We aren't taking any more applications on that program. Okay. Chris. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Aren't you supposed to have a staff come up here and highlight what they do? I would say I'm sorry, but I'm out.
Hello, I'm Jamie Bernier. I've been in the position about 2 months, so what I can tell you about the owner-occupied rehabilitation program is we use 4 preferences to income qualify people based on their eligibility. We help people revitalize homes in the community. Those 4 preferences are veteran status, elderly over 62, if they're disabled, or if they're a family that have 18 years or younger children in the home that income qualify. I can easily say, based on the past 2 months being here, that about 90% of our homes we rehab are for the elderly. We go in there and we do initial inspections with Mike Rankin, our inspector. I'm basically his secretary in the field when we go, and then we flip roles because I'm his supervisor in the office. We'll go in there and determine how a house needs help based on health and safety. We'll go ADA accommodation as well as if they need weatherization. So that basically means if they need new windows, they need restructuring, if they need to be energy efficient in any way with even LED bulbs, we'll go in there and we'll do those swap outs. Average project pre-COVID was about 2 months. Post-COVID, we're looking at 3 or 4 months per project. Contractors have a lot of delays in doing the home repairs based on supplies and their readability. But part of my job is to administer those programs, continue to get money from the state for grants. And part of our justification in doing that is we're basically looking and telling them we're doing good on projects. We're meeting the quota set of us, and we are hitting the AMI, which is the area median income of homes of people that need the help. So in a nutshell, I do a lot of hand-holding, babysitting, and administrative oversight to make sure we take care of people's homes so that there's not a lot of slum and blight in the areas. Any questions? All right. Nice to meet y'all. I'm happy to be part of the family.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Chris Register. Chris.
Hello, everybody. So, just for y'all know, I'm going to have Rachel come up because I don't think I've had Rachel come up and talk before, and she does a little bit of everything, but I don't think anybody really knows exactly what she does, so she's going to share today. I just actually told her that right now, so. Couple things administratively. Right now we have WIOA financial monitoring going on. That's all desk auditing. So we've sent them, or I've sent them a lot of documentation. We have one meeting on Tuesday or tomorrow, and then a closing meeting on Wednesday. It's pretty normal. We're getting ready to, well, I'm getting ready to vamp up for budgeting time. So that'll come early December, mid-December, I'll start doing that. So you start seeing my door closed with the sign on it. So tread, lightly. And then we want to touch base. There are a couple of things we were talking about changing as far as protocol for calling out or calling in for whatever reason. We want to start having people, and I'm just going to go over it, and then we'll send an email out as a follow-up on it. I'm asking that everybody, when they have to call in, if they're going to be more than an hour late, if they're going to be out for the day for whatever reason, that they call the Kingman office front desk. And then from there, Deidre Anderson, who's our front desk person, will then send an email out to everybody, because it seems that our departments are kind of interacting. And so when somebody goes to a desk to talk to somebody and they're not there, but then nobody knows where they're at because they've only communicated that to their prospective staff, WIOA staff or housing staff, or Bullhead only in Bullhead, Lake Havasu only in Lake Havasu, then we kind of have like waste of time trying to figure out who's where and doing what. So this way, if Deidre sends an email out to everybody, then everybody knows that if that person is somebody that needs to talk to, they're obviously not going to be available at that time, so they don't have to go searching them out. If it doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't matter one way or the other, it's no big deal. You just delete the email and move on with your day. I think we're also going to ask that all supervisors, coordinators, anybody that has staff that has vacation scheduled for a week will send Deidre an email either the day before or the Friday before, if it's a Monday, just to let them know that this is the staff that's out on vacation or PTO. Just so that everybody, if somebody asks, we all know where everybody's at. And there's no guessing. And we have a lot of people traveling to Bullhead and Lake Havasu from both sides of the house, here in Kingman to Bullhead and Lake Havasu, and they may not be aware when somebody's out and may need to talk to them or whatever. So maybe that's why they're going there. I gotta take off my glasses to read this. I want to introduce Mel Cupsid. He is our new ERA eligibility temp. But I know that Mary acknowledged him, but I want to actually introduce him. So can you stand up, Mel? Well, welcome to our team. I saw that. I think, Christina, am I missing anything? I catch it all? Budgeting. Oh yeah, you guys didn't hear me like doing cartwheels in the office and hooting and hollering? I'm pretty sure welcome back, Christina. I already did. Michael, it's your turn.
Right. So I'll also follow up with Rachel, because for those that don't know, Rachel does an extraordinary job. And I just want to say in front of everybody as well, thank you so much for everything that you do for Community Services Department. You are a true supportive individual to help everyone within the department, and always do. So I appreciate that. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to come up and please just say a few things that you do. Thank you, Rachel.
Hello, I'm Rachel. I'm loud. Like they said, I kind of dabble out my hands in everything. Lately, I've been filling in for Christina with her being out, so that's been a fun transition, learning what she does. I help with the workforce development boards. I set up all the meetings and the committees, meeting minutes, assist with posting all that stuff on our county website. And I just kind of fill in whatever's needed, whatever little project's thrown at me. I just kind of take it head on and just get things done. Yeah. Any questions?
Okay, so next thing on the agenda was Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which is Mel and Jessica. I want to just talk about the Emergency Rental Assistance Program a little bit. For those that don't know, this program came to us almost, call it almost a year we're coming up on. But the interesting part about it is we received an award for about $6 million. As of right now, we've spent $4 million. This was due to the hard work of all the ERA people, Emergency Rental Assistance Program team, going out in the community, really working on our outreach, as well as everybody in the departments, both sides, because both departments have helped with the registration, applications, going through it, and really that's awesome. So from a director's perspective, I'm grateful and indebted to you guys for the hard work that you did to make that program work. Without you and the support that you've given, that wouldn't have happened. So I did want to acknowledge that. And if you look at, because you guys always know I love numbers, analytics, if you look at where our community is, of the amount of people that we've served comparable to other counties, we're far exceeding the other things. So when you think of Mojave County, we are leading the direction and making sure our outreach is there as well. So I just want to touch base on that and once again say thank you. Very much appreciated. All right, so I'm going to move along to my report. But before I do, I'm going to ask the one-stop operator, Jason Millen, to come forward and just say a few things. He's not on the agenda, but I'm going to give him an opportunity, and then I'm going to circle back. Thank you, Jason.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I kind of hijacked the agenda there from Michael. And one of the reasons I wanted to hijack the agenda was because I wanted to talk about the amazing things that I get to see you guys do all the time. We have extremely caring and compassionate people in our community services department. And when you talk about community services, we all have our job, our little boxes that we check. And then there's all the other things that each of you do every day that go above and beyond. And I've got to watch it in the almost 5 years now that I've been around the department. I've watched every single one of you do some really, truly amazing things in your communities, inside the building, outside the building. And I wanted to bring up something that happened on Friday here with WIOA staff. Phoenix Truck Driving School was having their kind of anniversaries, grand opening thing, because they never got to have one when they opened during COVID. And so they've had, I think it was 142 graduates this year, and WIOA was a huge portion of that in our community. And when you start talking about economically what that does in a community to have those people get through a training and how it's bolstering all of us, because the tide rises and all the ships rise with it, right? So it's a beautiful thing that's happening. And we actually had two of our career coaches out there, Amber and Meg. And I showed up probably about 5 minutes late because I was on a phone call and they were already there set up. And I had a really special moment when I got there that I got to watch them interact for a moment. But it wasn't just me. It was Workforce Development Board members. It was other community members. That we were all standing there. The economic developer for Mojave County was there, and we all got to watch them interact, and they were so well prepared to step up, get these enrollment packets out, and they ran out within the first 15 minutes of what you brought, and so then I scrambled real fast to get somebody from MCC to go make them more. And they handed out even more after that, servicing about 20 individuals that were income eligible, and they're already working on enrollments for those. And that's impressive. When you sit back and you listen to what they're talking and how they're talking, they didn't just say, "Do you want to do truck driving?" They were asking them, what's your basic needs? What's your barriers? How can we help? You know, I know this is an event for truck driving and the school, but what can I do for you to make you successful? And they were doing it so well and so quickly that, I mean, I could not have done what they were doing. They were just so well versed. And one, I appreciate watching you guys out there, especially in front of other community members. Two, you guys made the Community Services Department look fantastic to our bigger partners, MCC, Dr. Klippenstein. Thought you guys were amazing. Phoenix Truck Driving School as an eligible training provider, thought you guys were amazing. You know, and that's really big for all of us because we always talk about how housing and workforce development's kind of the, you know, big kept secrets in the county. But when you guys are out there and doing those things, we're not a secret anymore. You get people talking about us. Like you get people talking about you and the services you guys provide and the barriers and the needs that you're overcoming for people. And I watch all of you do it, and it's amazing. And I just wanted to tell you guys thank you. You know, it's a privilege getting to be, you know, the Community Services Department's one-stop operator. So thank you for letting me hijack Michael. So thank you guys.
All right. So I'm going to talk about pay. Who's ready to talk about pay? Woohoo! We're not excited about pay? Should I skip that section? Talk about it? Okay. All right. So moving forward on the next coming paycheck, you'll see that you're going to receive $1 more. Okay? So that starts there. And then come in July, it'll roll over as well, where you'll receive another $1. The board, this is all possible if you didn't have a chance to see. The Board of Supervisors approved this. This was part of retention and attracting new and current talent to the county. So I just want to give an update on that and really say thank you to the Board of Supervisors and for the team and for everybody involved to make that happen. So are there any questions on that? Okay. All right. Moving along. So one thing that I want to put on for my report is above and beyond. I know I've talked about it before and acknowledged people for above and beyond the things they do, and I appreciate Jason highlighting what he did as well. That's always great. But this is going to be something that I formally make every single day. I mean, every single time we have a staff meeting, because I want to recognize everybody that goes above and beyond. So I just want to share a little story really quick of how this came about. I was walking in one day last week. I saw a security officer putting on gloves. It's probably around 7:30 in the morning. And I asked him, I said, "Is everything okay?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to check on a homeless person." I said, "Okay, well, if you need any support, or if I can do anything, you know, just let me know." Kind of left it at that. After doing that, I wanted to make sure that we did something as a department and we provided the resources that was needed to this individual. So I went over to Nay's area and found Kelly there. And I proceeded to tell the story of what was going on in the parking lot. Kelly then informed me that her and Mel had actually gone and provided services to this individual. So this was really great for them to actually be able to receive services. And that's not their job duties. So Kelly and Mel, thank you for that. You went above and beyond. So let's give a round of applause to Kelly and Mel. That's the spirit, I mean, and the passion of CSD and the other people from WIOA that really showed through with the truck driving school and doing their enrollment. So as a director, once again, I'm really appreciative of that passion and the things that you do to follow through to serve our community. So that's all I have for my report. I'm going to transition a little bit to allowing people, if they have any questions or concerns. As always, this is an opportunity if you want to come up and ask any questions or if there's anything ongoing, feel free to ask now. It's your opportunity. Okay, going once. All right. So I did want to follow up with that and just always say, too, that I do have an open door policy if there's anything ongoing. I've said this before, but, you know, start with your supervisor. If that doesn't work or you need another follow-up, my door is always open for any questions or concerns. And with that being said, I know there was some on the agenda as well was the dress code. I've tabled that until our next meeting, and there'll be more on that, okay? Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.